Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, James, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, nerds and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy?
What's up, people? Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. Me, Adam Hunter. I'm here with the funniest man alive, Sean McCorkle, who I think is in like I don't know if he's in a cave or like a Al-Qaeda terrorist cell or what's going on.
Well, I'm in a cell, but not in a cave. No, I told you, I've got my shoulder so messed up. I got to be in weird positions to be comfortable. So I'm trying to lean off the bed here and keep pressure off my shoulder and back at the same time. It's a lot of fun. So
how do you keep your hot fiance satisfied? Because you can't move. You must have the biggest penis in the world. Because
yeah, it's mostly my Brendan Schaub jokes, I think, that keep her interested because they never stop. So I do have an awesome Schaub has been quick Schaub story for you. What the fuck is going on with this light? Schaub has created like 5 burner accounts on Twitter to talk shit to me, and then he agrees with each one, but each one has been created within the past 3 weeks. And they only talk to each other. So they have like 35 and everyone promotes his ticket or his tour or whatever all at the same time. Like they literally will tweet all out at the same time. So he was arguing with me the other day at 4:30 in the morning. I made like 4:30, or I guess it would be like 2:30 your guys' time, 4:30 my time or something. I made a Brendan Schaub joke. Within 5 minutes, all 5 accounts responded and were talking shit back to me. And I was like, yeah, those aren't Schaub burner accounts. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
I would tell you to, who gives a shit, move on. You're so much better than this. You got so much talent, but I think there's a certain amount of joy.
It's my calling. I can't help it. It's my calling.
By the way,
I'm not like Terry Silver either in The Karate Kid. I watched Karate Kid 2 the other day and realized I'm more like Sato. Like for 50 years, he went out every day and karate chopped a piece of wood thinking about Miyagi. Like that's how bitter he was about him. You know what he did? So, and then his dad dies and he's like, I give you 3 days to mourn. Then you join your father. Like he's way more vicious than Terry Silver ever thought about being. So that's
a good point. How was your Father's Day, by the way?
It was all right, man. I live kind of far from the city now, as you know. So I just went actually and saw my kids on Saturday, so they didn't have to drive down here to see me. My son opened up his own fireworks store. He made like 20 grand in 3 weeks last year doing it. So he's going even bigger now and doing it. Like, so, that's why I told him last year. I was like, how are you paying your bills? I'm confused. He goes, you know that fireworks store thing I did for 3 weeks? I was, yeah, he said me like 20 grand. I was like, oh, cool.
Is it legal? Is it legal what he's doing?
Yeah. Unlike me, he gets involved in legal enterprises. But he's a smart kid, man. He found a guy to sign the lease, front all the fireworks, and then they just split the money. I said, so you're taking no risk and you make 20 grand in 3 weeks. He was like, yeah. I said, okay, now maybe I need to get in the fireworks business because it's.
By the way, your son, you showed me a video of him doing impressions. Spot on impressions, like spot on. Like the Morgan Freeman is. I don't think I've ever heard a better Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, dude. I didn't believe when he first did it. I asked him if he was using. He goes, hey, listen to my Morgan Freeman. He sent me it. And I said, are you using an app to do that? He goes, no, that's me. And I was like, no, but like, are you using something to make? He goes, no, it's all completely me. And I didn't buy it at first. I was like, dude, there's no way. But I heard he does an amazing impression of you. I can't get him to do it. I don't know why. Like his cousin, my nephew, actually told me, said you should hear his Adam Hunter impression. He said it is unbelievable. He said
great.
It's better than Morgan Freeman because I guess he's been. I wish I'd known he was watching this podcast since we started doing it because I wouldn't have said a lot of things I said on it if I'd known he was watching. But they said he does you, and they said he does me too, and it's phenomenal. But he will not. He's like, I don't know what they're talking about. And I was like, dude, there's no way you don't do me if you do everybody else, like your teachers. And I told him he got in trouble at school. The teacher enforced him to do his impression of the teacher. The teacher caught wind of it and was like, you got to do it. I don't care. And so he did it. And I guess the teacher flipped out and was like mad about it because it was too personal or whatever. And all the students were laughing at him and went and complained to the principal. And then I reminded them that I was the one paying $12,000 a year for him to go to school there. They weren't paying me. So I said, like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, It's ridiculous. But yeah, his he keeps saying he's going to do an open mic. He went to do an open mic the other night after I kept encouraging him, and he goes, yeah, and they had all the stuff on here, like you couldn't make gay jokes or trans jokes, or you can't do this or that. And he said, I'm not even sure I had like very many like that would be offensive. He goes, but I'm not even going to be part of something like that's politically correct. He said, I just figured, what's the point if everything has to be,
well, that's why a very specific open mic. I'm sure there's open mics you can go to.
What I told him.
Pablo Francisco, who does like the greatest impressions, he's amazing. I did a show with him in Vegas, and I think he was having some cocaine problems, allegedly.
As people are bound to have that do cocaine. Usually.
But for some reason, every impression was the person on cocaine. Like
that's like when my little brother told me there was some kind of pill you could take. I don't remember what it was back in the day, but there was some kind of pill you could take that was an appetite suppressant, but it wasn't like an amphetamine or anything. And my little brother, used to smoke weed 24 hours a day. He's like, dude, I don't know what's in that stuff, but it gets you high as a kite when you take it. And I was like, anything mixed with weed gets you high.
Yeah, right, exactly.
24 hours a day. He's like, I don't know what's in these Doritos, but man, they got me high as a kite. And he's smoking a Doritos like it. Yeah, it's. I'll have to check that out. That's awesome. Like I saw Chris Kattan do an impression of Chris Kattan on cocaine when I saw him. Oh my
god, I've heard so many horror stories about Chris Kattan's comedy. Like
he's hyper as it is, but man, he couldn't sit still for 2 seconds. He was like out of control. Still funny, but I'll tell you who's funny. A funny stand-up. I'm sure you know that I didn't realize he was that funny. Was Jim Brewer? Like,
yeah. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he has some funny. He had something on COVID, the whole thing, and started doing a Nazi impression, which was hilarious. I'm sure to you as a Jewish man, it'd be hilarious. But just comparing the COVID people that with the Nazis, and man, it was. I saw him in Las Vegas. I was dying laughing. I always thought he was funny, but I didn't know he was that funny in stand-up.
No, he's a nice guy too. Meanwhile, you see John Wick 4?
No, I haven't seen John Wick 1 through 3. So it's
okay. So John Wick 4. It's basically, if you missed the first one, someone kills Keanu Reeves' dog. His ex-wife, his wife died.
Is that actually? I thought you guys were joking. That's actually the plot. Someone kills his dog. I thought that was like a joke.
Yeah. Basically, his wife dies. He's a killer. He's a retired not serial killer. Like basically, he's an assassin. Goes around. He's the guy you call. And
he put his guns in the cage at the end of his last kill and be like, that's it for me, everybody.
Yeah, he goes, that's it. I'm out of it. He gets married. His wife dies of cancer, has some kind of disease. And then she leaves him a dog. Like, that's her, like, gift to him. Like, it comes in the mail. And then some asshole, of course, kills the dog, steals his car. And
surprised the dog didn't die in the mail. You ship a dog in the mail, that's probably, it may have been sick already when he got it.
Yes, he ends up murdering like 95,000 people to get revenge because the dog was the only thing that could remind him of his ex. That was the one thing keeping him. So now we're on to John Wick 4, right? And just what it couldn't be. First of all, I heard Keanu Reeves had a contract saying I can only say 500 words in this movie. I'm not saying more than 500 words. So and the movie's 3 hours long. So there's probably a murder every 8 seconds. And it's one of those things where he shoots someone in the head. The guy gets up for some reason. He shoots him again. It's just like the Asian people don't carry guns. They have Chinese stars. They're throwing at each other. But the main villain, who used to be John Wick's friend, is blind. He's a blind like assassin.
He's a very formidable foe, like Mr. Glass in that movie Unbreakable or whatever. Like the guy is in a wheelchair and his bones break when he types on a computer, but he's an evil. He's going to take over the world.
And his name is Kane because he has a cane. Like
oh god,
they call him
he's
Kane.
Also crippled and blind. That's I guess blind people have canes. I don't know.
He has the canes. So basically, he starts pushing up like motion sensors everywhere so that when people pass him, it goes off and he can shoot them. So he has to carry around motion sensors.
This sounds like you're making it up, but I got to take your word for it. It sounds like a really bad idea somebody had for a movie.
It's the greatest movie I've ever seen. Like I couldn't. Dude, my wife was like, it was my Father's Day gift. Basically, we went to go see the WNBA because I get those free passes. I took my daughter, and then we went to see.
It was a wonderful act of charity on Father's Day on your part.
There was like 40 people there, bro. Like it was, but I mean, it was fun. I have a great time at WNBA games. I think they need to figure out a way to get them to dunk, like put trampolines there under them, like
they could just replace the players with men. That would actually make it a little more entertaining. But
They lower the baskets, because it's like they get these fast breaks, but they're gonna get a layup every single time, So that was crazy. But they have but the worst is I don't know who books the halftime or every time but it's never what they had a K-pop band last time, right? And my daughter thought it was cake pop. She's like, a cake pop, like one of those Starbucks. We're no, K-pop, right? And then this time they had a gospel rapper.
Wonder if he gets in any kind of controversy with the Catholic rapper, they go back and forth, you know what I mean, in some sort of beat.
Dude, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. A funny story, by the way. One of the funniest things I miss about New York, because I was watching John Wick and they had this subway scene. Because it's a lot of they have a hotel where you can't murder people in the hotel. That's where all the assassins stay.
Is that a rule?
Yeah, that's the rule.
Right.
Dude, so one time I'm in New York, I'm living in New York, and there's a guy in the subway. I start doing comedy who's like, I'm an unemployed comedian, I'm homeless, but I got a joke. If you guys give me $1, I'll tell the joke. So now people are giving the guy, he raises $11, but he won't tell the joke. He just keeps going around right? So now everyone's tell the fucking joke. There's 15 people on this subway cart, and then he goes, blah, 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 and he runs out, right? Then this other homeless guy gets fucking mad at him. He stole his act. So he's sitting there and he's like, you motherfucker, that guy. And he took a coffee. I think it was coffee or piss, or he was drinking something, right? And he just throws it at the guy as the guy was out of the shop of the subway cart, but hit a random guy walking by. So a random guy just walks by and then gets piss thrown at his I know you guys are thinking, Adam, how do you have so much energy? You just go, 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 go. I'll tell you, our next partner is AG1, which is the daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. I drink it literally every day. Now, I gave AG1 a try because I was feeling run down. I'm like, ugh, can't do this with the kid and the wife and the career and just nonstop go, go, go. But I'm telling you, I am feeling so great. I got a boost in energy. I feel better. My support system in my body it tastes great and I feel great. And I drink AG1 in the morning before working out, doing my fight camp, and it makes me feel unstoppable, ready to take on the whole day. Come on, day, bring it, people. Okay. So I support this. I'm all for it. Okay. A lot of our athletes drink AG1. Okay. And because I know it's important for these fighters to take care of their bodies. Not including Kelvin Gastelum. I'm kidding. Kelvin does it too. So if a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/MMA roasted. That's drinkag1.com/MMA roasted. Check it out.
That's awesome. It had nothing to do with that. He was like the Carlos Mencia of homeless stand-up comedians. He was stealing people's act and then got confronted on it. That's he really was. It sounds like he was giving homeless comedians a bad name by ripping people off. I think that.
So, did you watch any of the fights?
I didn't even know they had fights. Who fought? I literally didn't even hear.
3 different events last week. First, there was PFL, right? So PFL, Mo Green, my guy, Maurice Green. He's the guy that's the seamstress. I'm not going to say he's the knitter because we laugh every time. So he fights
also a guy that you don't come to Las Vegas and talk to like that. If you remember The Godfather, that's a great line about Mo Green. But yeah,
Mo Green, right? So he fights this guy Anti-Deja, and the guy fucked up the name, I'm sure, but he's the guy that's he's a huge favorite. And Mo wins the first round. It was pretty close. Second round, he gets beat up so bad he's running around. He's running from the guy like a heavyweight, and he's got Jon Jones in his corner.
Right.
It was basically it was like John was pretending to side. He's running out of the way. Then in the third round, he's doing well, and then he gets taken down and beaten up the last, 3 minutes out of the 5, he was on the ground. And then he gets up and starts dancing and celebrating with Jon Jones. They do a dance. They do a dance together in the
He's also who was probably also doing an impression of Jon Jones on cocaine that night. You saw Jon Jones and Ngannou going back and forth, and Jon Jones saying, "Oh, like why did you have to run from me now to a different thing?" And he goes, "Where were you for 3 years?" And he was like, "I was putting on weight." Like that's what he was doing.
That's what he was saying. Jones looked as big as them almost, though.
Maybe bigger. Yeah, like it's crazy. I mean, he's obviously doesn't have the genetics that Ngannou has, but I love that Ngannou told him also play the game, don't get played. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, right.
Whatever, because he's basically telling Jon Jones. I love people that hate Ngannou. He should want to fight the best. He should do what's best for him. If someone's going to pay you to not fight for a year, why would you fight? You know, if it's the same money or even close, like it's so stupid, man.
Jones kept saying, "You don't want the smoke. You don't want the smoke," and all I kept saying, "No, you want the blow." Like I was
right. It's Jon Jones that doesn't want that particular smoke. I think he would like something you could smoke, but.
So then what's his name came out? Basically, Larisse Pacheco. She's the girl that beat Kayla Harrison, who was like the two-time Olympic champion and won the $1 million last year. This girl, Amber Lebrock, who I was rooting for, it was another thing where like some of these girls, like, or even guys, when they get hit, you see it. Like the fight was over after the first connection. Like you just saw. Has that ever happened to you where you get punched right away and you're just like, get me the fuck out of here?
Yeah, actually, when Mark Hunt hit me the first time, I remember backing up and thinking, man, he is way faster than I thought he was going to be. Like, you know, you just don't, I never sparred with anybody at that level. Like that was like a K1. I mean, it's not easy to find guys like that, but I wouldn't spar with him even if I could find him. I would come up with the reason why I couldn't go in that day. But yeah, no, he first time he hit me, I thought he was about to knock me out in front of my friends and hometown family. Like it changes, and you can usually tell when people don't spar very hard because when they haven't been hit, like Brock Lesnar, they turn away from punches if they're not sparring hard because they're not used to it. And eye discipline is so important, man. When you box, everybody's natural reaction. That's why we see street fights on like YouTube. People start turning their back because it's your natural reaction to turn away from punches if you're not used to getting hit. It just is. But you see a seasoned boxer or a trained fighter, they'll see a punch come and they'll eat it and throw the counter knowing they're going to eat the one. And it's just getting your eyes used to staying focused on your target as you get hit, which unfortunately usually you get brain damage in the meantime while you learn to do that. But yeah.
So this is Muhammad Ali's grandson, who's 3-1, who you would think it was the black guy. That's not the black guy.
I was going to say, yeah, it's weird. His last name is Miller, but
his name is Ali Walsh. Very, very light skin. I don't even know how to say it. It's like you say things now, like it's like when Michael Jackson's kids come out and you're like whiter than me.
Wait, the white guy actually is Muhammad Ali? I thought it was the black guy. I was joking when I said
No, the white guy. The whiter the guy is, but I don't know how to say it without offending everybody. Right. But yeah, that's the guy. But so he like won his fight. He looks really good. I'll show you. And that's Flavor Flav.
He was like, I am the lightest. I don't know, after the fight. I would like to see the DNA test on that, man. I don't know that that's Muhammad Ali's grandson. I don't know.
But like they're promoting him as the I mean, I think
right.
I don't even know what to say. You're right. I would like to see the lineage, but I mean, I'm not going to deny that he's Muhammad Ali's grandson.
We need Maury Povich involved in this. There's no way we'll get the real answer if we're going to get facts. But you know what's weird is if he actually is Muhammad Ali's grandson. Wait, that can't be right. Yeah, no. I don't know. I mean, Muhammad Ali. Is he his like I guess illegitimate grandson or something like Creed? Like he's not using his name, so he's not.
No, he is using it. It's Ali Walsh.
So he's using his last name as his first. That works. That's cool.
No, his last name is Ali Walsh. Something.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
I got you. I thought his first name was Ali and last name was Walsh. I was like, I don't think that necessarily means you're related if your first name is Ali.
No, his last name is Ali Walsh. Okay. I don't know where the Walsh. I have to figure. I don't know it either. But like,
I guess the Walsh person was an albino then. Like whoever's the Walsh family line is really light skinned.
And then my buddy Jorgen De Castro, who I like, you had him on the show. He's also Jon Jones' training partner. Jon Jones' training partners did not do very well in this. He fought this guy Dennis Galtsov, who you got to see this, man. It was like quick into the fight. He just got starched, but this was depressing. I'll show you. Right here.
That was 15 seconds in, huh?
Yeah.
One right hand and a clinch of the #1 seed. Dennis Goldzov with a quick 6.
Yeah, he just hit him. I mean, perfect shot. Oh man, I was rooting for my buddy from Cape Verde too. I like him a lot.
The Castro guy has cost me money on fights multiple times. I remember he looks like my high school basketball coach, but he also was white. So maybe my high school basketball coach is like his grandson or something. But he looks just like my a black version of my high school basketball coach. Maybe he would have known something about basketball had my high school basketball coach have been black, but he was the worst. But yeah, I remember he cost me money betting against him twice and then betting on him twice. And I was like, dude, this dude gets me no matter which, because he doesn't look like he'd be a good fighter. But I saw him whip someone's ass in the UFC that he shouldn't have beat. I don't remember who it was, but I saw him.
Castro, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him beat. So I don't remember who he beat in the UFC, but I remember thinking he was a way underdog and he like really put it on him. I thought, man, that dude can fight, and then he cost me money repeatedly after that, no matter which way I bet. So
I was telling my high school wrestling coach, because I didn't go to my reunion, which I was kind of like, I wanted to go because it was, I went to that, I told you that boarding school for, I'd say troubled kids, but kids that needed to refocus their energy. And I had so many
kids that had troubles.
I mean, literally, it's called Hyde, right? My first day in there, I'm 13 years old. I'm the only 8th grader there. There's no 8th grade. And they threw me in the 9th grade. And I guess kids were having a circle jerk in my dorm. They were literally having a race who could jerk off to fat, and then they got busted. So they had to stand up at a school meeting and talk about it. And one kid's like crying, saying like, I'm bisexual. And another kid's like, yeah, I'm blah, blah. And I'm like, where the fuck did my parents send me? Like what kind of school? People were uncovering my ears. I was 13 years old, I was 92 pounds. And I was telling but I'm so close to my high school wrestling. Like we had a teacher, right? Our lacrosse coach. They let some guy just coach. He was a janitor, and then he was good at lacrosse. So like, oh, you could help coach lacrosse.
As most janitors are. But of course, who knows anything about lacrosse? Maybe he wasn't any good. Nobody knew. Nobody's like, no, we're good at lacrosse. Like, okay, I don't even know the rules, so I'll take your word for it. So.
Dude, the guy ended up taking like 6 kids back to his house or his dorm room, whatever he was living, smoking weed with them, right? And of course, like he got busted. One of the kids told, and the guy just quit. He never came back. Like our teacher ran away from school.
Maybe here the circle jerks were no longer allowed. He's like, I don't need to have those 6 kids over anymore. After all, Plan B will not be happening after all. So,
dude, it was one of these schools where everyone had to like talk about their problems all the time and 2-hour seminars. And we had a teacher during the school announcements, right? Morning announcements. They're like, hey, track team will meet out here, and just so you know, tomorrow night we're having mandatory fun. That was a big thing there. And then the one teacher stands up and goes, I want to let everyone know that I have herpes, and just sat down. Like, this is a teacher, and he had like a thick Maine accent. So he was like, I have herpes, and everyone did the impression of him the whole year.
Right.
Like, I'm not sure that's what we meant by sharing. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Dude, remind me not to send my kids there or my grandkids there. Remind me not to send my black grandchildren there. That didn't make sense, kind of. Right?
So meanwhile, we have a guy here coming on who just headlined a huge pay-per-view. He's one of my favorite people in the whole world. He's the champ.
Yo, what's going on, Adam?
Henry Cejudo, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good, man. I've just been robbed.
I think you're getting robbed of internet too, as we speak.
Using Don's Wi-Fi.
Sean, you can hear me, right? Perfect.
I can hear you, yeah, but
man, Henry, come back. I want to hear Henry's version of this. But I'm kind of looking at him like frozen. I'm just staring at him. Henry, come back. All right. So before Henry comes back, all right. There was some also
Adam, that's
you're back. Where are you driving? Hey, Henry, pull over, sit on the booster seat. And Henry.
Yeah.
Where are you? In Munchkin Land? What's going on?
Pretty much, I'm in my little my my tiny car.
So did you thought you got robbed too, right?
Of course, man. I thought I was in Aljamain's backyard.
But everybody was cheering for you. Were you surprised that you won the whole crowd over?
A little bit. But I will say this: that I came to realize, Adam, that the real king of cringe is Aljamain Sterling, dude.
Yeah. Well, I think
that's a bummer for me, you know.
Oh, he took your title of the king of, and he took the one. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. You got robbed twice. Now, you definitely won the 5th round. What would you have done differently in the fight?
Probably, you know, there's a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things. I think one I think would be like cutting the weight different. I think on that Friday I should have cut my weight a little bit different rather than hitting pads and putting plastics on. Just making adjustments when I did take them down, to actually pound them, fist them as hard as I could rather than kind of staying on top and trying to control them. So fist them a little more.
Yes.
Be a lot more aggressive on top as I fist them. And
yes.
I love that my internet went blank and I came back in and I hear Henry say, I just, fist him. I was like, wait, where did this conversation go? While
what could he have done differently? He said he wanted to fist him more. Now, it seemed like you had the front headlock many times. Do you think maybe you should have went for like a Darce or a guillotine or like, because you had that front headlock?
No, but of course, Aljamain's used to those positions. So I didn't necessarily want to like, squeeze the juice out of my arms because I knew that was a position that he was good at. So like the game plan was to keep it on his feet and make him work as much as we could. He was giving me the head and arm. He was okay in those positions, and take him a little more serious when he got close to the fence of not taking it there no more. So keeping it more in the center. There's a lot of things where I would definitely change, but it's over now. I mean, the robbery was already done. I mean, what am I going to do now? It
was a great fight. It was actually a really entertaining fight. Both of you look great. Do you think his wrestling surprised you?
His scrambling ability did.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's the only thing that really surprised me because takedowns off the open, like he wasn't. I wasn't worried about that, but I could have taken a little more of his scrambling ability, a little more serious. And like I said, man, I should have probably fisted him a little longer.
Now, you kept your head up. Was that part of the plan to keep your chin in the air?
Yeah, I'm making those adjustments, guys. Adam, it's been a few years,
Because, but you were like, you were afraid. Like it was
Hoyce Gracie inspired me. Look at his fucking chin. And he was a UFC champion.
Well, I thought maybe you evolved. Like now you were going back to your chin up in the air because like your chin was in the air, and I'm like, fuck, I hope you don't get caught. Did he hurt you at all?
No. I think maybe the only thing that he didn't hurt me. Maybe just my heart. But other than that, I mean, it was a great fight. I thought it could have won either way. Sean, who did you think won that fight?
And man, I had Henry 4-1. Like I really did. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I don't really like Aljamain ever since his fake knee thing or whatever, But I wasn't shocked because there's so many ripoffs in the UFC, like with the judges. But I was like, man, did James Krause have something to do with this? Like, is this like? Who did James bet on tonight? Like that's what I was thinking. Like
full disclosure, I happen to like Aljamain a lot. He's a friend of mine. He's a good friend. Henry's a great friend. Aljamain's I consider him a great friend too. I like both you guys. I honestly like both you guys. So it was hard, and I could tell you guys liked each other too. I mean, you guys were laughing at each other's right? I mean, it seems like you were. It seems like you like him.
I like it from afar,
Did you retire again? You're like Jay-Z now. Did you not retire? Did you? Because you retired, but then 30 minutes later, you called out Murrah.
Yeah. It's emotions run high. Like, I'm here to fucking take over. If I can't take over, I don't want any of it. Might as well be a fucking employee. I want it all or I want none of it. But then I thought about it the next day. After I watched the fight again, I'm just like, man, I made a lot of mistakes. Like, I can't go out like that. I cannot let Aljamain go out like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really like, and these are the times that's motivated me more than ever. You know, when I lost to Demetrius, how it would re-spark that anger, that competitiveness, like that chip on my shoulder. So I think I'm on the right track, Adam, to say the least. You know, maybe I'm talking about the right track, not the railroad tracks.
Of course.
So,
now, I was worried that his weight, because I'm like, dude, I've stood next to Aljamain and I stood next to you, and he's probably about 185, 190, and you're probably about 155, 160. Was there a huge weight difference in that in the cage?
No, not really. Not really. If you think about it, like we're both taking each other down. Like that wasn't the issue. I think the issue was just like me recovering for the actual day of the fight. And that was like the biggest thing. And like I said, man, I made some mistakes that I know that are very fixable, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna, now I'm gonna go after his butt plug, fucking Marab, I gotta.
That's a smart move for you though, because when Aljamain fights O'Malley, let's say he beats O'Malley, he's not gonna fight Marab. So if you beat Marab, you're the only logical fight right there, and in the top 3 or 4. I mean, that's a really smart move because he's not going to fight him.
I mean, they've been pitching out Cheeto for me, and I got about this whole week to really decide whether I want to do Cheeto, whether I want a tune-up fight. I mean, personally, I prefer Doritos, but they want me to.
I really
they
hope
want me to fight
happen.
Cheeto, but I want Marab's fucking bitch ass. I want to make sure that he puts some of that hair transplant on his balls because. Hope he's man enough to fight me.
Yeah, what was that? I mean, that was weird. The hair transplant. Like, did you see what happened, Sean? He got a hair transplant, and he showed everybody exactly where I thought his hair was fine. I didn't even know he even needed a hair transplant.
Wait, so he admitted it and was proud that he got a hair transplant?
Yeah. He showed you exactly where they drew it on his head and everything. And
Lee, what's next? Is Bruce Buffer going to come out of the closet? Like, if we're being honest, what's going on here?
Now, who do you think wins, O'Malley or Aljamain?
I'm gonna have to go with Aljamain. Like, O'Malley, to see how different it is to fight a guy that has no game plan. Like Aljamain's game plan is not to have a game plan.
So, I mean, do you think though, like, because you landed some pretty big punches on Aljamain? Do you think you hit as hard as O'Malley, or you hit harder? You think if O'Malley lands those punches, Aljamain?
Yeah, but Aljamain's gonna be moving side to side, and it's gonna be different. I mean, everybody who O'Malley has fought has always stayed in front of him.
Now, Conor McGregor is somebody that you have been beefing with. What the hell is going on? Like, I mean, so last week he allegedly tried to rape a girl, right? And then they got a video of him bringing her to the bathroom, but she's coming with him to the bathroom. But yeah, there's a video of him and her walking to the bathroom together, right? And then allegedly there's a video of her hanging out with him afterwards. So that's why people are saying that, like, this is bullshit. She didn't press criminal charges. She wanted money right away. But I mean, you got to ask yourself a lot of questions here. But like, why is he bringing a girl to the girl's bathroom? Number one, he's married. He just announced that he's got a kid on the way, a 4th kid. Second of all, like, if he's going to do something like that, like, would he do it with all these people videotaped? Okay, this was a random girl at the Heat game, and his security was there. And why isn't his security telling him, hey, Conor, this is a bad idea. Like, we're not bringing people to the bathroom. Like, what are we doing? You just knocked out a mascot. What's wrong with this guy? Now that it's summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for sunny, active days. I know I am, okay? And Factor, which is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Not number 2, #1. It can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track reaching your goals, okay? Are you too busy with summer plans to cook? I am. It takes me forever to cook, and I ruin the meals. But I want to make sure that I'm eating well, and so should you. Well, with Factor, skip the trip to the grocery store and skip the chopping and the prepping and the cleaning, okay? While still getting the flavor, and the nutritional quality you need. The Factor is fresh, never frozen. Ew. Their meals are ready in just 2 minutes. That's right, 2 minutes. Although when I do stuff in 2 minutes, my wife complains, okay? But not with Factor. All you got to do is heat and enjoy, and then get back outside and soak up this warm weather. Vitamin D, all right? Looking for calorie-conscious options this summer? You can try the delicious, dietitian-approved, calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. That's nothing. You burn that off, I don't know, jogging, all right? You need an extra boost to support your wellness goals this summer? I do. We'll try the Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein. Hell yeah. Get rough. Look at these guns, people, all right? So check it out. Check out Factor. Head to factormeals.com/roasted50 and use code roasted50 and get 50% off your first box. That's half off your first box. That's code roasted50 at factormeals.com/roasted50 to get 50% off your first box. All right. Check it out. You're going to thank me later. I got this cute dog. She's teething right now. But she's adorable. All right. No more biting. You got to get some chew toys. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and check out Factor right now. Look, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with
Well, the reality is, bro, it's probably more of it. Conor McGregor, he's an adrenaline junkie. And I think he's just getting a high. If it's not in the cage or him winning, like, he probably gets the adrenaline of him getting away with shit. You know, Mike Tyson used to talk about that shit a lot. It's like, man, he started getting over so much shit that it was almost like he wanted to know, like, how much he can get away with shit. So I think that's more of where Conor McGregor is at. Like, he has all the money in the world. I mean, why is he married? I mean, that's up to him. I'm sure it's probably more because of the kids. But if it was really up to Conor, I mean, he'd just be a fucking, walking nomad, dude.
But you're an adrenaline guy too. I mean, I've seen you drunk before, and when you're drunk, you just talk shit to fighters and hug them, and tell them how much you respect them. I've never seen you drag a girl to a bathroom before. Like, I mean, I don't even. Come on, like. Jon, help me here. What's going on?
No, but I'm telling you, but that's what it is. That's what it is, Adam. It's a drug on top of the drugs that he's already doing. It's more of that emotional. It's more that psychological drug that it gives you. The fact that okay, I'm married. I'm bringing this bitch on a game 4 of the NBA championships. I can fuck her. I can get off. And just getting away with it. I think that's where the adrenaline more likely is. Like, I go back to that. Well, it's not the drugs no more, Adam, because he's a conscious cokehead. It's the adrenaline, Adam. Like, it really is. If this girl
made it up, she should do the time that he would have served, because it's ridiculous. If this didn't happen. Are there bathrooms in the girls' bathroom? I mean, there are cameras in the girls' bathroom? Cameras? Okay, Sean, do you know anything about this?
I don't know about the VIP bathrooms because I'm never a VIP anywhere. But no, I do know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the difference too is some people are just like, a lot of times money allows people to do things they would do if they weren't rich. So he's just a piece of shit is what I think. You know what I mean? Like, guys that would blatantly disrespect his wife like that. He doesn't care that there's 1,000 cameras on him. He's going to take her in the bathroom like Henry said and do what he wants. And I just, I had a great Brendan Schaub joke there and I lost it right as I got ready to get it. I completely lost it. So I'll work it in later. But I can't remember what it was, but it was great.
I mean, it's crazy. The dude
I love it, Sean.
They're giving the guy everything. The guy's got everything. They're handing him Michael Chandler, a guy that will stand and trade with him. The one guy that will just sit there and take punches from him that he could probably beat. And they're giving him the Ultimate Fighter. He doesn't deserve it. They're trying to make money off this dude. He's bringing in money, and this guy just continues to fuck it up. It's he's making Jon Jones look like a fucking angel right now. I mean, he's basically, you're like, man, why can't you be more like Jon Jones? This is right. It's crazy. By the way, Henry, how is Jon when you were coaching Jon Jones? How is he to work with?
Jon's super humble, man. Very, very humble. Now, outside of that, man, I don't know what to tell you, Adam.
Well,
I
I'll
clean,
tell you what
I'm
I
like
saw.
Pontius Pilate, dude. I clean my hand.
You told him exactly how to beat that guy. You told him the exact move he did. It was crazy. Like, they have a video of you showing him what to do against Cyril Gahn and him doing it in the exact same way.
Yeah. And it's just it's understanding the fight and the fighter, and then obviously understanding the time off. But John's a hell of a student. I will give him that. He may not be the great, the best Samaritan outside the octagon, but when it comes to him learning and whatnot, second to none. Jon is like what every coach wants. A guy that's all ears, all eyes, and
No calves.
Yeah, no calves. Now, afterwards, did he come up to you and throw you some bonus money for teaching them? Did he give you an eighth or an 8-ball, or did you do a line off your head? What? How did you guys?
Nah, Jon took care of me, man. John's a good dude, man. Like deep down inside, he's a really good guy.
Are these because you're helping out so many fighters? I see the people you're working with, from Zhang, Weili Zhang to Jon Jones, and you just see the improvements. But I worry about you, Henry. Are people just taking your knowledge and running away and like giving you a thumbs up, or are they paying you?
Well, that's what they do. That's what they do with every other Mexican. They hire you, they make you work, and the next you know it, they call ISIS, they call the freaking, they call the Border Patrol. This shit still hasn't changed.
This is bullshit.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I had a contractor at my house, and he blamed the Mexicans for how expensive everything is. He's like, "Yeah, they finally wised up. Won't work for $8 an hour anymore." And I was like, well, "Those damn Mexicans! How dare they?" He's like, "I got a bricklayer. He wants $20 an hour now." I'm like, "Come on, man! I'm like, that's a $50 an hour job. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's the truth."
So the UFC this week, by the way, and I'm excited. We got Don Frye just joined us, 15 minutes late. Thanks for being on time, Don.
What's up, Don?
It's okay. I got to leave early, too. Somebody's coming by to look at the house.
Wait, you're not selling your house, are you?
Yeah, partner. Yeah.
Ah, man, that house is
Sure
beautiful.
am.
So Henry,
I know it's killing me.
Henry, this week we got Josh Emmett against Tapura. Tapura is the guy that he's awesome. He's undefeated. He's 8-0. He beat the hell out of Bryce Mitchell, who I thought was the best. Who wins this fight, Henry?
First, I just want to say that I love tempura. You ever have tempura in?
Yes, I've had tempura.
Yeah, no, I like Ilya. I think that Spaniard, the way you said it, bro. Anyways, I think that Spaniard. Fuck, that's a good fight. That's a fucking good fight. Actually, I take that back, man. It's a battle of two sluggers, man. Fuck. It depends who can take a hit, but I'm going to have to go with the Spaniard, man, especially after seeing Emmett get knocked out. I'm going to have to go with the Spaniard just because that train is rolling, and I think he has better hands. But I can also see Josh Emmett, if he lands one too. I mean, this is a battle of two, two sluggers. Whoever decides to fist a little harder.
Now, Don, you were at Henry's fight. Did you think Henry won, or did you think Aljo won?
Yeah. I think Henry took a shit in front of everybody. It was his trainer's fault.
Oh, no.
You know what? Man, you're too good of a fucking athlete to fucking perform like that. And you had a shit fucking game plan and fight plan, and apparently nobody pushed you because you didn't have the conditioning you needed. Yeah.
Henry,
Don is aware that Henry is Mexican.
Wait,
that's the way he feels about most Mexicans.
What's that?
I said apparently Don knows that Henry has Mexican heritage because that's why he talks about most Mexicans.
Henry, would you like to talk with you, Don?
But you know what, Don? You're right, Don. And I think a lot of it's just the layoff. I could have adjusted to the game plan. and I didn't. But I take it in the chin, Don, and I will come back better. I will make those adjustments, and
Yeah, but you didn't need to take it on the chin. There was no reason. You had your chin up, which drove me fucking crazy the whole time. I'm yelling, "Put your chin down! Put your chin down!" And you gotta look out the top of your eyes, man. You gotta keep your chin down, look out the top of your eyes. You're bringing your chin up and out the bottom of your eyes. You're doing the exact opposite, man.
Well, I have to admit,
I've done it too. I've done it too.
Yeah, hey Don, but I have to make up because I'm only 5'2".
He's got a point. I mean, he does. He needs to see the guy. Aljamain was like.
That's why why you stand right side of his chest and beat the hell out of his body. You were too far away, man. And you don't have the reach. You got to fight like Tyson. That's all there is. You got to make those adjustments and get in tight.
Henry, by the way, Henry, I don't think Henry knew
down anytime.
By the way, Henry, I didn't know that you were being confronted today by Don Frye. This was not. Henry's looking at me like, Adam, I just walked into a fucking ambush. Sorry.
Hey, Henry could tell me. Henry could tell me go fuck myself anytime, and I would understand that.
Henry, he started driving.
He has that right. Being a triple, he has that right. Being a triple champion.
I think he just drove off a cliff. So if you were,
I think so. I
figured out what's happening, Adam. Henry's the one going to look at Don's house, and he just hooked into his Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah. Henry's gonna go buy Don's house.
And kick me out. Yeah. You got one day to leave, motherfucker.
Hey, Adam. Though hey guys, I have a lunch meeting right now in about 2 minutes.
All right.
So
yeah.
But I appreciate it, Sean. I appreciate it, Sean. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. Like I said, man.
Hey, brother.
The blacks will fight again. You guys stay tuned.
I'm a fighter.
Henry, will you have Don Frye walk with you to your next fight? Walk out.
I think you're Henry.
Sure, why not?
Henry, you're too good of a fighter to perform like you did.
So Don, will you walk Henry out to the octagon for his next fight?
If I get to put a chain around his neck and a whip.
All right, this got really weird.
Black leather mask. The gimp. Oh, that's Sean. That's Sean's gimmick. Sorry, that's Sean's gimmick.
All right. Go to your meeting. Sorry, this is the new show called Ambush Coaching Advice.
I have a parole meeting I gotta go to. You guys, quite honest.
Good. Well, I love you.
That's my line, damn it.
All right, take care. Thank you.
Sorry,
Don,
Henry,
I swear to God, everyone needs a friend like Don Frye to tell it like it.
What?
Everyone needs a friend like you, man. But why are you selling your house? You told me you weren't selling your house.
Hey, he's too good of a fighter to perform like that. Too good of a fucking athlete to perform like that. Let's put it that way. You don't get to be a gold medalist in the Olympics in wrestling by being an average fucking, wrestler, average athlete. Jeez. He took a shit. He took a shit out there, and he shouldn't.
I still think he won the fight, though. For some odd reason, I don't know. I still think he won the fight. I think that it was close enough.
No. When you're going for the championship, you've got to destroy the champion. You've got to beat him. And he might have tied the guy, but he didn't beat him.
Got it. So also this week we got Macy Barber. She's the girl. Her father thinks she wins every fight. She got her. She was teaching a how to get your black belt online course, or no, blue belt online, like a Gracie course. But she's actually really good. She's fighting Amanda Ribas. That should be a good fight. Amanda Ribas is a little hottie. So that's good. Neil Magny's taking on Phil Rowe. That's going to be a good fight as well. Jillian Robertson against Tabitha Ricci. There's some good fights this week. Some really good fights. Sean, did I ever tell you what happened with Jay Moore?
No.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but I was telling my wrestling coach how, I started this wrestling program like 15 years ago. I answered an ad on like Craigslist that said, "Hey, looking for wrestling coaches." So I go down there to the school that brought you, and they were like, "Well, what do you know about the adult wrestling league?" And I'm like, "I know nothing about it." It turns out the guy before me was trying to coach, but then have like an adult bondage nude wrestling at night for adults. And I'm like, I don't know anything about that. They're like, "Oh, well, you're hired." Right. So I start this program, and, right away I had to go to Africa to do some comedy. So my buddy was like, "Oh, I know how to coach wrestling." Right. But he knew WWE wrestling. I didn't know that. So I get back, the kids are all doing fucking camel clutches and figure fours. And, we end up losing 75-0 to the fucking, right. So anyway, we end up getting better, and the kids want to wrestle in high school. I get a high school coach who knows his shit, fucking teach them all these great moves. He dies of brain cancer, right? 27 years old, gets a headache, fucking brain cancer, right? So then they get another guy, this guy, Steve, who got kicked out of New Jersey for coaching for being a rageaholic. But I didn't know this, right? So I got him a job as the coach, but he's yelling like, you don't want it. You have no heart. So he gets fired like after a week. So then they bring in this guy, Aldo, my friend Aldo, who used to be a Chippendale dancer, might have been a leg breaker, masseuse. And then Aldo threatens to murder a parent. Like, "I'm going to kill you." They got him on tape. He ends up getting fired, right? And now they have another coach. But in the meantime, Jay Moore shows up, right?
What was the problem?
Don, all sounds perfectly reasonable to Don. Like,
So Jay Moore is having like a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Jay Moore is having a midlife crisis, wants to coach wrestling, right? Says he says, wrestling's the thing that helped me out, blah, blah, blah. That's what's, so all this shit, right? So he shows up to my garage and seems to know what he's doing. So then I'm like, so then they just added a third.
Wait. Time out. Wait, you're wrestling with junior high children in your garage?
Yeah. Aldo
Do you have ice cream music playing in the background?
Yes. Grand slams, no-hitters, and double plays are back. That's right. And there's no better place to get on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official partner of Major League Baseball. And guess what, people? New customers in Massachusetts getting in on the action with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed, when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston. And finally, you can bet on all your favorite sports, from the money line to point spreads to player props and more. I love it, okay? If I'm going to bet, I'm going to go on FanDuel. So now, bet on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Don't miss your chance to get $200 of bonus bets, win or lose. How great is that? Okay, visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make every moment more. That's FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. You got to be 21 and older and present in Massachusetts. Okay, your first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable. And bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Help is here. So is hope. Hope and help. GamblingHelpLineMA.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com or call 1-800-GAM-1234. That's FanDuel. Check it out now. Right now. You want to bet? That's where you go. So you got to go, Bree? So Aldo got fired, right? And then he ended up turning my garage into a wrestling room. And then he got the kids to deliver on the team, the wrestling mats. So they would like, he's like, fuck it. If I'm leaving, I'm taking the mats with me. So he ended up like, so then, like,
I was gonna say he got the team to deliver his dope for him.
so then they add a third season to me, which I didn't want to coach a third season, right? So then Jay Moore hits me up and says, "Hey," he goes, "Hey man, can I run practice tomorrow?" Right? So I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Right? So just do singles and doubles. That's all I want: single legs and double legs, right? So then I get a text. I go,
He thinks you're talking about liquor shots.
So I get a text. I go, "How did practice go?" He goes, "Oh, coach these kids is what I need. Thank you, Adam." Right? It pushed me, and I needed that push. I love the opportunity. He goes, "Here's what happened." He goes, "I lined them up against the wall. These are junior high kids. These kids are like 11 and 12. He goes, here's how I coach. I don't use a whistle, and I won't raise my voice. When I have to raise my voice, you squat against a wall until your whole body shakes. I'll never criticize you. Neither will anyone in this room. There's no shame in this wrestling room. There cannot be gossip in this wrestling room. Only love lives here. When I tell you I love you, I mean it. I will never lie to you." It's the first day. "I will never lie to you, and time will prove that. I will always speak to you like I do my two sons. No trick questions, no traps. Just be honest. Tell the truth, and you'll never be in trouble. Truth doesn't move. Most coaches don't want you to quit. I want you to quit. Listen, I want you to quit. Go out. Go." When coaches tell kids you don't have to do anything, I tell you that you can leave whatever. I know the difference between your 100 and your 88%. Your 88, you dress up your 88, but looking like 100 by yelling, screaming, and making faces. I want you to quit, because the longer you're here giving 88, you break my heart, and it'll break my heart watching you go. Once you quit, no hard feelings. Good to see you when I see you. I mean that. But know this: when you quit, no one here will think about you again. You're a ghost. Not even a story. And then he goes, I walked from one end of the room to the other. Right. This is what he tells them. If the length of this room is the wall, he goes, you're 5 years old, lives here, 10 here, broken wrist at 12, arrested for being a dope at 22, heart attack at 45. You're okay. 2 kids out of nowhere at 46. This is his life. 50, 60, kids in college, kids out of college. Kids keep getting bronchitis, heart attack. You may not be okay. Stroke, hospital, getting out, dead. And then that was his first day of wrestling practice.
Sounds like he's going through a little more than a midlife crisis, but
And they all came back.
Dude, I got so many emails from parents saying, "Why did my kid say he's gonna get colon cancer?" He's like 11.
Listen, if he gets cancer, tell him not to fight it. We want him to quit. Just go ahead and just let it take over. That doesn't even seem like that could be real.
I'll forward it to you. I swear.
Dude, I would love to see it, because I think it's going to be like John Kreese's Cobra Kai finale speech to the Cobra Kai students as the series ends, because that was amazing. Like, that was way better than "Fear does not exist in this dojo."
I swear to God. After that, I was like, I'm never letting this kid. And then he did a lot of more things that, like, I'm not going to talk about, because so he's not working there anymore. Let's just say he's not working there anymore, and that's a very good thing. But now he's engaged.
Gee, that's a shocker.
Yeah. Adam probably told him he wanted him to quit, so he was like, all right, well,
why'd you cut him loose?
I don't even want to.
There's no reason.
I'll tell you off the air. So anyway, but oh God. Anyway, I
was exactly what Jay Moore needed, to tell a bunch of children that he wants them to quit after they get cancer.
That was the first day of practice.
That's amazing.
Like
that should be written into your show, your pin show. That should be the guest coach comes in and do that monologue the first day of practice. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That'd be the highest show on the season.
Seriously. So Bigfoot Silva lost 11 in a row, but he says he's not done. He's been knocked out 11 times in a row.
We're gonna go for 13.
Yeah.
Who is it? Who got knocked out 11 in a row?
Bigfoot Silva.
Bigfoot Silva.
Yeah.
I remember that guy back in Pride when he first showed up in Pride. That guy was a monster, man, just frightening looking. His feet were 3 inches thick, from the sole to the top of his foot, like 3 freaking inches, man.
My kid has to go poo. You have your bathing suit on? Oh, you good? Okay.
To go poop?
Yeah. Well, she was supposed to go. I drove her to school today, and then I realized it was Juneteenth, so there was no school today.
Don could have told you that. I'm sure he celebrates it.
Yeah. I got my Malcolm X hat on.
Dude, that was one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard. It was like they had a Yo Mama show back in the day. I forgot what it was. Like not Yo Mama. It was like back in the day when I was a kid, and they were like, "Your mama's so fat, she can't wear a Malcolm X jacket. She's afraid helicopters might land on her."
Yeah, I remember when those were the big. I think I was in 10th grade when those were the big. The Malcolm X jackets were the big thing.
Oh my god! So what do you got coming up, Sean?
I got nothing, man. Just same old stuff. Just trying to find a doctor who will operate on me or do something, or who won't let me stay on the phone for hours giving information and be like, "Oh yeah, we won't accept you as a patient." So the Mayo Clinic telling me they wouldn't accept me as a patient was one of the soul-crushing, most funny things that ever happened. I'm like, "Wait, you guys are rejecting me after months of sending you paperwork for no reason, just because they won't give me the reason?" I was like, "Cool, like that's awesome." Like you could have told me that at the beginning of the process, but it's just it's a lot of fun.
I'm sorry, man.
Send him a bill for all your fucking time.
Golly, dude, I wanted my doctor to send me my medical records, and they said it would be $1,700. And I was like, what is in there that they don't want me to see?
Yeah.
There's no way it costs $1,700 to send medical records. You know what I mean? It's like, we'll send it to the Mayo Clinic for free, but it's coming to you. It's going to be $5 a page, and we have over 350 pages or something like that. And I was like, wait, what? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, bullshit.
And
wow.
It was shortly after they got the records, they didn't want to see me. So maybe they found out the truth about me in some fashion. But I'll tell you what, if you ever get your medical records sent to you, it's amazing what they know about you. They keep track of everything you say when you tell them something, man. Like I saw stuff from that fight. The guy knew I hurt my shoulder in a fight years ago before I even said it to him, like that shoulder doctor did, like knew that was in my record somewhere. So it's like, God, did you read my autobiography or what, man? That's creepy. So
damn. And Don, what do you got coming up?
Who wrote it for you?
I'm gonna go have Brendan Schaub ghostwrite my autobiography.
Don, you ever hear about what he did with Matt Hughes, by the way? Don?
No.
So McCorkle, Matt Hughes wrote an autobiography, and Sean did a recap of it, right? And
chapter.
Yeah.
Chapter by chapter, and exaggerated every single thing to the point where it was ridiculous. Put it on MMA Underground, and it got like what, 1 million views?
It was. I thought it would be deleted for fighter bashing because I wasn't even in the UFC yet. It was called Made in America, and I put Made in America, Made Easy. And like the chapter 1 summary was Matt talks about being a repulsive redheaded twin with his brother Mark and how they were brats and needed their asses whipped and were disobedient. You know what I mean? And how everyone hated them at school, like, or whatever. Like, and so like chapter 2, I said something else, and I came down the next day and I had put a few things in the nest, like that he had mutilated a baby pig to freak someone out on the farm, or whatever. Like he was cutting off their balls. I guess they do it early. They cut their balls off early because pigs replicate or whatever, reproduce real fast. But I said he slit it open and tortured it and all this and that. I came down the next morning. It was on Yahoo News, like a link to the thing, and had been read 750,000 times. Just on the Underground, 750,000 times. I was like, oh no! Like when I read it, or whatever, because it was like there was a lot in there that hadn't happened. I only did the first 3 or 4 chapters. There's like 18 chapters, so I just went with it. It's still, if you put, people still bring it up to me. Like they'll be like, Matt Hughes book review, like when they see me at fights or whatever. And this was like 2003, like they bring it up, and it's that was how I first got known in MMA. It wasn't from fighting, it was from doing the Matt Hughes book review, because I changed everything to make it way, like he said, one of his friends drowned and died, and Matt, like they were swimming in his, I made it that it was a sewage runoff they were swimming in. He didn't say that, but I said it was. And then he said that God saved him that night. I said, and then Matt said, I don't know why God hated the other kid. like that he said that in his book. That he didn't actually say that. I just put that in the thing. Like Matt said, he never understood why God hated the other kid and saved him. And so, yeah, dude, it caught fire. And I had to choose at that point to either say it was made up or go with it. And I just did the rest of the book, the other 14 chapters, and made it even more outrageous. So it was awesome. My first UFC fight. Me and him were in an elevator together at my first UFC fight. And I said, hey, how's it going? Like when I walked in and I could see he just stared at me. Well, more at my chest because he's tiny. But was staring at me with hate in his eyes, man. I was just like, it was awkward. So,
oh my God, so funny, dude. I told you when I did a show with him.
It was only 1/5 your weight.
Yeah, that's what someone sent me an email from Militich's camp and said Matt says he can make 206 if you can make 265, and I said tell him if he can make 5'7", I can make 265. Because I said right now I'm 315. I'm not cutting 50 pounds to beat up a midget. You know, like
it was a good sport though. When I did the UFC gym party or something, Chris's party, he was there with BJ Penn, and I was like, oh Matt, I didn't recognize you without BJ's nuts in your mouth, And I was doing I did 37 incest jokes, and he wrote me a long ass text saying, normally when people tell me that I have BJ Penn's testicles in my mouth and that I fucked my cousin and sister, I would get very upset. However, everyone laughed. Like he was really cool about it.
Normally, I mean, how many times does this happen? So this happens quite frequently now.
You know what's crazy is I figured out in his book, because I'm good at math, I guess, that he was 7 years older than his wife, and he talked about making out with her his freshman year in college. And I was like, wait a minute. If he was a freshman in college, he was 19, which means she was 12. Wow. You know what I mean? Or whatever, because she's 7 years older. And I put that in there that her and him and his brother both used to make out with her, which I'm not sure if that was in there or not. I just remember writing that they used to take turns making out with her. But I really did realize that he had said something that parents were uncomfortable with her being 7 years younger. And I was like, wait, but he said he made out with her when he was a freshman in college, which means he was either 18 and she was 11, or he was 19 and 12. That seems odd to me. So that was the best was that the Pat Militich and Monty Cox and everybody from that camp loved the book review. Like I thought I was going to be fighting those people. Like even Tim Sylvia, when the first time I met him, I thought like he'd be like, "Oh, hey, you can do that to Matt Hughes." He's like, "Dude, your book review was awesome." I was like, "Matt Hughes truly is the most hated man in MMA until he."
Dude, he's the only guy. Like I had him on the podcast. He was so nice recently, and he's doing really, really well. He's the only guy I've ever he got hit by a train. I mean, almost it was crazy, and people were like, "Yeah, but why was he on the track?" I've never seen people not yeah, but I think he tried to commit suicide. But even if he did, what kind of people are these?
Probably the same people that thought he got tied up by Wile E. Coyote and put on the train tracks or something. It's so. Dude, if you're going to commit suicide, I don't think you're going to try to jump in front of a train. That seems like a bad way to go about it. It's just people are stupid. The best was that people thought I was going to make jokes about what happened to him because of the book review. I was like, dude, I don't hate his guts. I just made a book review about him. I don't think it's funny that he's, guy's brain damaged. That's not. I don't make fun of Don for being brain damaged. It doesn't.
No, I couldn't believe when Colby did
that. That's because you're terrified of me.
Anyway, Don, what do you got coming up?
Right.
I'd come over and rape your dog.
Oh, dude, I had a dog story I could tell you guys. I'll save it for next week.
Don, what do you got coming up?
I'm not gonna rape. I'm not gonna rape the gay one. I'm not gonna rape the gay one either. For the
no, I had to kill the gay one, not because he was gay, but it didn't help.
So my daughter, in the beginning, she wouldn't wipe her butt unless I was Captain Butt Wipe. I had a cape, and I go, Captain Butt Wipe. So I just, Violet, say that again. Yeah, so I got to go be Captain Butt Wipe. But listen, you guys
will always be Captain Butt Wipe to us, Adam. Don't worry.
Somehow that's very fitting. Very, very fitting. Yes, always.
I love you guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Hey, man.